Hello everybody, my name is Korbin, and this is my senior project. For my senior project, I wanted to build my own PC. I did run into a few problems along the way with trying to find the right components to buy. Thankfully, I reached out to this professional who is my uncle. His name's Ian. He pretty much taught me everything I needed to know about PCs, and here you can see that I'm putting it together. This was me trying to install the CPU. As you saw right there, there was a golden triangle on the edge of that CPU. I was trying to align that with that triangle that you saw me pointing at the corner of the socket. When installing, you need to make sure that you apply no pressure, but let the CPU fit into the socket by kind of dropping it. Once you've done that, you just push down the lever and move and connect it into place, and just like that, the CPU is installed. Right here, you can see that this thing that I'm installing is actually the CPU's stock cooler, which came with the CPU, which is actually really, really good. If it came with the CPU, if you find a CPU cooler that comes with a stock cooler, I would recommend getting it because it saves you a lot of money, and I've heard the CPU fan is actually really good because it helps to keep from overheating. Right here you can see the AMD logo on the cooler. You would want that facing away from the RAM slots, which we'll get into in a sec. You can see that I'm having a lot of trouble here. It's actually pretty funny. I did not know how to. I completely forgot how to install the CPU cooler. I did run into a few problems, and this was the very first time that I've ever built something like this. I didn't do retakes to make sure that I understood everything. I did do like a little research in between takes to make sure that I was doing everything correctly, but I did have a few mess ups along the way, and you can hear me stuttering when I'm talking. This was mostly just because I didn't want to script it. And by the way, all the information that I did for this video, I will leave a link in the description down below, including all the parts that I bought, the prices, and everything like that. So for the RAM, I chose the CORSAIR Vengeance RGB Pro. It's 32 gigabytes of RAM in a 16:2 configuration. There were only 2 slots there. There were only four slots, but I only had 2 memories. So I followed the instructions on the manual, and I ended up using the 3rd and the 4th. So right there, I'm installing the SSD, or the storage. I chose the Samsung 970 EVO Plus. It was equivalent to 2 terabytes of storage. Right there, you just have to push the SSD in, lean it down, and fix it in by screwing the screw into the adapter. It's pretty simple. It's not too difficult to do. So, and I will leave a link, like I said, I will leave a link to all the information in the description down below, including the tutorials that I watched and the parts. So right here, you can see that I'm installing the power supply into the case. The case that I chose was an NZXT H7 Flow. So the thing about the power supply is you need to make sure that it's aligned correctly. As you can see right here, there's a dust filter on the case, so I had to put the power supply facing down. And here are the cables. That was the Type 24 pin that goes into the motherboard. This one that I'm installing is the CPU power connector that also goes into the motherboard. And this next cable that I'm installing is the PCI that goes into the graphics card. So after lining up the power supply into the case, you need to screw it in. You'll find those screws in the power supply box. So when screwing in PC parts, I recommend using a cross pattern rather than one side and the other, because the cross pattern helps apply even pressure. And by the way, if I do stutter during all this, I do apologize. I didn't want to write a script for all this. I just wanted to wing it, just so you can see how stupid I can be when it comes to all this. So right here, I was installing the motherboard into the case. Moving the motherboard into the case is not that hard. You just need to make sure that it doesn't break anything on the motherboard. And you can see that the I/O shield matches perfectly, which you can see it does. So after using the screws included in the case's box, you can pretty much screw the motherboard into the case. As you can see right here, you can see that the RAM slots are in the 3rd and 4th slot. I end up moving them into the 2nd and 4th because it gives me dual channel action it's just how the motherboard is made and helps run the RAM a little bit faster. I don't know why it does that, but I just decided to do it anyway. So then I flipped it on its side, and right here you can see I'm installing the graphics card. The graphics card was the very first component I chose to buy for my PC. As you can see, I'm taking out 2 parts of the case, which helps me install the graphics card perfectly and doesn't break anything. So just align the graphics card with the slot and then just push in, and then use the screws, including in the case's box, to screw it in, and that's pretty easy for installing the graphics card. I didn't run into many problems during all of this. I did have to cut a little bit of audio out. Right here is a 24 pin connected to a USB adapter. That is super crucial if you want to use these types of parts to build together. So right here I'm installing the CPU power connector. Try to use a little bit of cable management from the case, and then you can see I'm connecting it at the very top. Right here is the PCI power connector that I'm connecting into the graphics card. And here is the Type 24 pin that I was connecting. It was pretty difficult. I mean, it wasn't actually that difficult, never mind. But eventually it wasn't. I ended up installing it. And this one, the blue one, is the USB 3.0 power connector. These cases that I'm connecting are in order for HD audio, as well as the cable connectors for the case fans and the front panel cable. But that's enough of me talking. Hope you guys enjoy, and here is my reaction of my final test. It works! Oh my gosh, it works! Yes! Oh, yes! Oh my gosh, yes! Let's go! Let's go! Yes! Oh man. Oh, that's so scary. I totally didn't think this would work. But that's it, guys. It worked. That is officially my senior project. So,
what does this say? Oh, look at that. New CPU.
New CPU installed. Awesome. So yeah, guys, that is officially it for my senior project. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you guys later.